In this video, we're going to look at some specials that OU and Lincoln Riley used this past season, and I don't think that they used nearly the amount of special plays that they had in the past. I think it might have been one of those things that they didn't have nearly as much time to work on just the fundamentals, so maybe they're focused on that. But in the past, they'd run a lot more special plays, which are, flea flickers, double passes, some different things like that. But we'll look at a few of them that they ran this past year with varied success. This play right here was against Oklahoma State, and I remember it vividly because it was basically a touchdown that put the game away. So right here, they're up by 14 in the fourth quarter, and they end up putting this ball game away with this play. So right here, Oklahoma State is in man-to-man, and you've got your fullback, you got three receivers out there, you bumped your quarterback over, and you have your tailback right there ready to take the snap. So right here, the quarterback claps, tailback catches the ball, he hands it off to the quarterback, which is a little different. Now he's got to come backside and seal. They're basically running sprint out protection right there. You got your slot receiver comes over here, faking the reverse. This is a little jab fake right there with the ball as he continues to sprint out. What they're getting right here is man coverage. Obviously, whenever he comes across, he's going to chase him. And you got a one high look right there. He goes vertical there. This fullback, he basically blocks and seals the edge right there, and then he slips out late with nobody manned up on him. So right there, he fakes the reverse. He keeps carrying it out. You can see he's blocking right there. Basically, that guy's manned up on him. And right there, once he comes to the quarterback, he releases to try to get the quarterback. He just slips to the flats. Now it's just 2-on-1, little option football. Gives it to him right there about 5 yards deep. And he's able to take it all the way to the end zone for a big touchdown there against Oklahoma State. We can see it from this view a little bit better. You can see right there, there's the handoff to the quarterback. Faking the reverse. There's his man going with him. You have a go right there. This safety over here is not real sure what's going on. He's just kind of hanging out. Not sure if they're about to reverse this thing or if he's carrying it out. So he has the pause right there. You can see him. He's opening his hips, about to turn back that direction. But right here, there's the fullback. He's blocking the guy that's basically manned up on him. Then right here, he releases to the flats and gets a big completion right there for OU in a big game. The film on this one isn't quite as good as I was hoping, but right here, if you're looking in this box, you can see what we're looking for. Oklahoma's actually running their GT to the right, and I guess they know they're going to get a squeeze from this defensive end. Quarterback pulls it. You see there's two receivers right here, and then there's a receiver right here that's got a lot of depth, and he gets even more depth on this bubble. So pull read there for the quarterback. He starts coming downhill. He's getting lots of depth right there, so he can throw a lateral. So after Rattler throws the lateral right there to the receiver, if you watch him, you can see him. He takes off. He takes off down the field on what amounts to being a deep corner route from the quarterback after a GT pull read after he flips it out there to the receiver. So flips it out there. Now the quarterback becomes the receiver, and he takes off on a deep corner route. The receiver's getting a little movement right there, throws it on the run, and Spencer Rattler tries to go up and make a play. You can see this is a very aggressive and creative call. A lot of things had to go right, and not everything quite did, but there's a safety that's rolling down. There's a safety way over the top. Linebackers are chasing. Could have been a completion right here. It wouldn't have been a touchdown. You can see he could have caught that. There's a linebacker, and there's a safety over the top. But really aggressive call, really creative, and I'm not sure exactly what they saw on film that they thought they were definitely going to get that pull read, and then they would be able to get a corner from the quarterback. But I thought that was pretty creative. Past year, they threw a couple of flea flickers as well. And right here, Oklahoma's in a twin set. They end up bringing their receiver in fly motion. He ends up being the main receiver on this. I'm not sure if they have a post or if they've got to go or drag, whatever. But right there, bring him in fly motion, and then he goes to the wheel. But we'll play it. You can see he brings him in motion, snaps it, hands the ball off right there like they're running some kind of pin and pull, and then the quarterback goes there. Whenever they run their flea flickers, their running backs always give a little ground, then they basically option pitch it back to the quarterback, just like if you're running the option right there, and then he ends up being a blocker. So flips it back like he's running the option to the quarterback, and then he turns, and now he's sealing that edge. And you can see with this fly motion right here, he ends up looking back, and then he ends up wheeling down the sideline right there. So the quarterback gives him a little bit of time, not just a huge ball, gives him a little time to get down the field, and Iowa State did a great job of playing that and staying over the top of it right there. But you can see, pretty interesting call, especially if you feel like the guy that's manned up on the motion will lose him or get caught up in that handoff or whatever, and then he flips it back to the quarterback, and then he lets it go. with a shot for that guy. Doesn't quite work out, but you can see that they were being aggressive and they were trying to take shots and thought that they were going to get a guy free on this play. Here's another example of a flea flicker from Oklahoma this past year. Again, run that same side track. He starts bending. Quarterback rolling to his right, flips it back to him. And you can see there's a lot of protection on this. You've got a tight end, you've got a fullback. He doesn't quite sell it as well as the last play, and then he flips it back to the quarterback, and now he's protecting right there. It was just a single receiver route. You can see he's coming right here like he's going to block the safety, and then he goes vertical. And right here, the corner's playing him right there. He gets over the top of that safety, so it's a one-on-one basically. And on this play right here, they get a pass interference. The corners apparently all over, can't really see it, but right there they had an opportunity, even though the corner stayed on this man, that they could have created a big play getting that one-on-one. Being aggressive and getting one-on-ones with your receivers, no matter how you do it, if you're throwing flea flickers or whatever, it's typically going to be advantageous whether you're getting flags or whether you're creating big plays. This play we have a reverse here from Oklahoma. They ran the reverses about 5 or 6 times over the year and didn't have just a ton of success with it. This is probably their best one, and right here you can see that they're running it and making it look basically like power or some kind of GT without pulling tackle, obviously trying to keep him backside to help seal, but pulling that guard to try to get these linebackers to step down, thinking that it's power, GT, all the things that they like to run with those guys pulling. They're in a 2-back set, so that back leads right there to make sure that there's no edge pressure. He's going back for anybody that may be trying to chase the reverse guy. And as soon as the ball snaps, he's coming in that reverse. And you can see what I really like right here is the running back does a really good job of selling it. His eyes are downfield, like he's trying to make a cut. And you can see he even jabs at it, and then he goes right there with a soft. You can see that ball right there, a really soft pitch that's easy to handle. It's not spinning. You can see it right there. It's just a dead toss. There's no movement on it, making it easy right there for the receiver to run through that ball and go right there. And obviously the quarterback, after he hands the ball off, he's going backside to help seal the edge. And it looks like tackle and the center are working over here to work that outside edge as well. But good job by the running back, jabbing at it, making him really feel like he's about to run the ball, and then giving him a dead pitch so it's easy to handle. Now he's out the gate right there. Got a couple guys out in front. Spencer Rattler trying to get a block, or attempting or acting like he's going to get a block, which I respect that. Quarterback, you don't get paid to do all that stuff. So right there, he's out there just in case he needs to screen somebody off. That was probably their best reverse from this past year. Obviously, Lincoln Riley and those guys were extremely creative. Didn't get extremely creative this past year. Obviously, I'm sure like the rest of us was probably more focused on the fundamentals and the things they're going to do day to day, just being able to execute their basic offense because they weren't able to do spring ball. They weren't able to do a lot of stuff in the summer. So probably going to see a lot more creativity this next year, especially with a second-year starter at quarterback.